Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Carded Cobra Commander. And there he is, the new style. I guess it's still an old style retro card. It is the nice thick card, so you don't have to worry about it warping or anything like that, like those Walmart ones were. And as you can see, we got the nice artwork, which reminisces of what we had back in the day. We have the figure in the bubble. I'm still not a huge fan of everything having to be shown. I don't need to see absolutely everything that's in it. It could be hidden a little bit better. I just think it would make it look better. This blister is really big, but hey, a lot of people like this. This is what they want on cards. So there you go. Explosion in the background. It says G.I. Joe. Cobra enemy. There is no A Real American Hero because, well, it didn't actually say it on the Cobra troop. So, and then on the back we got the big giant file card, 5L, 5 language, just a little blurb about them. I know no one really likes it. I'll reiterate: this is not this is not a GI Joe thing. This is a Hasbro thing. They make it be 5L. We have the cross sell of only 3 figures, and I will reiterate this. I really wish the file card was down there, even if it's the same size. And then you just put all the retro carded figures up top, or at least more of them. Because back in the day, they would give you cross-sell of figures that weren't in the line still, because you needed to fill that up. And I just really wish they would have. So anyway, there we go. You guys all know how this goes. So let's get this thing open. I am going to compare them to so many other Cobra Commanders, including original O-Ring, new O-Ring, original classified, Mickey Mouse classified, Once a Man Cobra classified, and Supreme Cobra Commander. Now let's get to this. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like G.I. Joe stuff, you like the stuff that I give you, hell, maybe you just think I'm funny, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something like this. Now let's get to this. All right, so we got them out, and here's all our Cobra Commanders. Now, I was watching Bobby B's video earlier today, and he said this is like the 6th Cobra Commander in the classified line that we gotten. I'm sorry, I gotta call someone out when they're absolutely wrong. He is wrong. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he forgot the Once a Man. So we have 7 Cobra Commanders, Bobby B. Never forget, we got a 2-pack of them. Anyway, quickly, this is what we get. We're going to get the stands with the retro cards. It just has it in embossed, embroidered, whatever you want to call. Cobra on it. No name on it, although it does give you a spot for it. Maybe they should have just tampoed something on it. And then 2 pegs. Again, I have no need for this. I try not to use stands. Some people love stands, and some people really love when there's like six spots for one little stand. Woohoo! Anyway, we're going to get everything that we got with our other Cobra Commanders. What I don't think people realize is I believe all the hands are universal. They may have smaller pegs here, but we got these hands in numerous Cobra Commanders. So here we have the Supreme one. It looks like maybe they opened it up a little bit more, but it's the same hand of him holding the globe for world domination. We got the pointing hand. We got the 2 fist hands, right? And then we got the 2 trigger finger hands, which you definitely need when it comes to G.I. Joe. So, all right. And then we have the backpack. Now, the backpack is to recreate this piece here. Now, I'm going to pop this off quickly. And if you look at them, you can see you have the 2 small circles on the top, the big circle there, the medium-sized circle there, and then you have a Cobra logo. Now, it was pointed out to me on the last video that I was putting it on upside down, and I didn't even realize that because this is how the original sat. But what they had to do was make it so it sits like this, and it actually is upside down. and then actually pops in there and stays pretty well, which I had it going, I believe this way, something like that. So I forget who said it, but thank you very much. Now we do have the blow dryer pistol. It has just a one little X right there. Little bit of paint. Here is the original one. All right. So you can see how they look very similar to each other. This one is much shorter and stubbier. I think they're actually, the classified one is actually shorter than the original one. So you could throw this on his hand if you really wanted to. Now, I mentioned before, and I didn't show it off, that on the Supreme Cobra Commander, his pistol, I think, actually looks much better. Now, it's in gold, but when you look at that, I think this one looks way better because it looks closer to this. So I really wish they would have just recreated this, made it somehow where we could plug that in here. Again, it's not really, you can't do it here. Oh, I guess actually it does stay on there, so made a liar out of me. So if you have an extra Supreme Cobra Commander, I guess you can paint that black. But either way, that is for your Supreme Cobra Commander. And then we got the dagger that he comes with, and it's still pliable. It's not super bendy and soft. A little bit of paint on it. It just makes it go really far, and sometimes you just drop it. So there you go. It does look good. And then we have our Cobra Commander. Now, a lot of people are wondering, can we mix and match these figures? So we will grab the one that comes from the Hiss tank, and this was the first retro card. This is the Mickey Mouse logo, and again, people that are wondering what Mickey Mouse is, it looks like Mickey Mouse, and it was a mistake to begin with, so they corrected it here. Now you can see there's a lot of paint differences here. Now first you have the vac metal, we'll look at that in a second. The blue is completely different. They give you the stripe down. His turtleneck is no longer black. It's this blue with little pins on here. He does have the gloves. I like the gloves better. I think they look better. Still have the red stripe, just not as bright. He's got the white belt that goes around. And the belt buckle is now silver with red in the middle. Still has the same sheath as we showed before. This is gold with a silver blade, where this one is all silver. I feel like I just threw it down. Then you go all the way down to the boots, and again, they look the same. But the blue is way different. So you cannot just take this head and swap them out. Where I think more people want to swap out the vac metal head with maybe this figure, maybe the one over here, but these blues tend to match a little bit closer. Where if you wanted to put the striped helmet on your Hiss tank one, you could. Again, blue is a little different, but close enough that you can get away with it. And you can see he is holding Megatron. All right, quickly we'll take a look at the articulation. If you know, his head goes down, it does go up. And that's actually good enough because you really can't see how much he's looking side to side. It does move kind of forward. You can see it's on a neck joint here. Because the T-pose is perfectly fine. It does have some butterfly joints. But you know my feelings on the butterfly joints on classified. They seem to be more there. But he can't really hold a pistol because they don't cross over like they're supposed to. Double pinless joints. Same as the other ones that we've gotten here. We have his wrists that are going to move back and forth. He does have the ab crunch still. Goes back and forth. Can turn side to side. Just a little bit to the side if you want to. Drop down hips. There's the Jean-Claude Van Damme. They don't drop down real far, and I'm perfectly fine with that as long as they do the trick. And he can sit completely straight out. So you want to put him in the his tank, you can. Here we have double knee joints, pinless, thigh cuts. Ooh, I love that sound. That sound goes back to Care Bears. They used to make that sound. My sister had them, and then my daughter had them, and maybe that sound. We have the goofy looking boot cut up at the top, where if you turn it, it breaks the seam here, which I think just looks kind of silly. But he does have the ankle rockers, so he can get a good amount of range here when he's walking. And the unfortunate thing where this tends to fall down. This was something that a lot of people realized for some odd reason on the Once a Man Cobra Commander, it doesn't seem to fall down nearly as much. But no issues with the joints. I didn't have any tightness, so even the gloves rotate also. So no issues. Again, gloves. So you can't just swap it out, I don't believe. Because I really like the glove look better than this one. But again, this is kind of what everyone wants. So I showed you the differences here, right? He does have the stripe. Now we can look at the vac metal here, and you can see that it looks nice. Now I do wonder if it's going to chip at the bottom. It looks a little rough. I think you really have to be focusing on it. So it's probably not that bad. But look, you can look right into my camera here. Let's grab a Cobra Commander, and you can see them. So the same as like the Vamp and the Stinger mirrors. You can take some pretty cool shots as long as you get your camera out of the way. All right, so some of the things you might be wondering is, can we swap maybe parts with this guy? And unfortunately, I'm going to say you can't, because these colors are just way off. Now, you might be able to do, you might get away with it with this helmet. So if you wanted to change out the helmet, ooh, there you went. Supreme Cobra Commander. This table shakes, and these have awful, awful feet. See that? I absolutely hate those feet. And there he went down. All right. Now we can compare him to the O-ring figure. So here we go. I'm going to throw this on him. And then we can pop this right here. So compared to the original here, you can see that they moved where the Cobra symbol is. All right, it's not in the middle. They put it to the side. I actually like it in the middle more. They gave them blue instead of black. He has the stripe. He does have the short, the non-gloves, or the short gloves. Still has the sword on the side. No runner down the side of his leg on that side, only on this side. Still has the same belts, but it is painted white, and this one is black, all right? And I already showed you the back here. So what you're really looking at is not so much him being the retro card of this, but he's the retro card of the figure that came with that ugly, ugly Duke, you know, like one of the worst looking figures ever. So quickly, we'll take a look at this guy and we'll compare them. So they didn't use the same color. They went a more dull blue, but darker. He has a stripe down the head there. Same color. Yeah, I apologize, guy. The same color turtleneck, the offset Cobra symbol, the white belt. This is white where they have silver here. The knife is just all black on this side. Still doesn't have the stripe on this side, but they do put it here. I think it looks better having the stripe on both sides. Actually, they didn't give a stripe on either side. So it's kind of weird sometimes, some of the things they do. Like they're mixing and matching some things, and I don't understand why they don't just go all out with it. But all in all, if you didn't get him, if you don't like Supreme Cobra Commander and you don't have that one, or one of these ones, this one is really going to work for you. I think it's been way too long that they didn't have the proper Cobra Commander, but at the same time, they were trying to do something different. They were trying to make G.I. Joe more futuristic, and that went with changing the designs of some of the Cobra figures. People didn't want it, so they of course corrected. Anyone that was that's mad that you opened this or you ordered the Hiss just so you could get this Cobra Commander because you didn't know if he was going to come, well, if you do a little bit of research, you'll realize this guy was always going to come, even if they didn't confirm him. So there you go. It is a good figure. It looks good. It looks like Cobra Commander, what everyone seems to want. Just trying to pose him properly. He feels pretty smooth. Fix that foot there, and then he'll stand better. At least he should. But all in all, I like him. I like the color of the Mickey Mouse one better. I like the back metal better on this. I like the gauntlets here and everything else. I would keep like that. I really wish they would have made them the same color, but you did have to do something to distinguish it, just so someone can get a water slide and do a little bit of work. So there you go. If you want them, I will drop links to where you can get them in the description. Entertainment Earth and Amazon. Let's wrap this up. All right, so that's it for my retro Cobra Commander. One thing I forgot to do is pop the arms out, hands out, so you can see how easily they pop out. I'll grab another one here. Here's the pointing finger. And it does go on nice and easily. These seem to fit a little bit better. The old ones, again, they had a longer stem, and they didn't pull out nearly as easy. Can we swap them? You see how long that stem is right there. I do wonder if... So these actually won't go in all the way. You'd have to cut it a little bit. But you can easily, if you really wanted to, just trim that down. And you'd be able to make it work on the street. But you know what? I do so many of these reviews that sometimes you tend to forget. You forget what you forgot to say. So anyway, there you go. That is your retro carded classified Cobra Commander non-Mickey Mouse HasLab Hiss Tank one. Why am I so close? Not that bad. All right. So there you go. If you want to get them, I will leave descriptions or links in the description of where you can get them. I know the end of this, it is completely messed up. But if you made it this long, you're like, hey, I'm waiting for you to mess something up. Well, you just caught it. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. You know what to do. If you're on Instagram, take a second. A Punk with Toys. I post all kinds of stuff there. And last but not least, you know what to do. Take a second. You stayed this long. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop a G.I. Joe video, and I drop a lot. You can see right here, Stalker. Where's he from? Detroit, Michigan. Where do I live? I live in Mount Clemens. It's like 8 miles out of Detroit. I don't want to say Detroit because Detroiters get really mad when you say that. All right, I'm going to get out of here, but don't go anywhere. What I will do is I will drop a link to a Cobra Commander right up here, and down here will be the playlist of all the classified figures that I've done, which is almost all of them. I realize I didn't do Private Director Destro.